Hey guys, Brian Hill with The Complete Combatant, and we're going to talk about putting new optics on guns and zeroing them in real quick. Shelly has a 365 XL, and what a great little carry gun it is, bringing double stack capacity to a very slim, small profile. It's got usable sights on it already. It has a very nice trigger, although not for me. I have a hard time with the trigger, but some people really enjoy the trigger and like it the way it is. I prefer the XL version because the slide's long enough to conceal well, it doesn't roll over your belt, and then my thumbs don't tend to get in front of it, which is important. Unfortunately, SIG in its infinite wisdom decided to pair the Romeo ZERO with this fantastic new carry pistol. And the problem with the Romeo ZERO is it's made out of plastic. All right, I have one right here that I took off her gun. Everything is made of plastic. The lens is made of plastic. The parts are made of plastic, except for the electronic parts inside of it. It is completely plastic. And we know that there's a lot of G's going on these slides. And to make an optic out of plastic is just reprehensible at heart, to tell you the truth. I know some of you have the Romeo ZERO. I have seen more fail in class than any other optic. That's why I'm not a big fan of them. All right, it's not because I don't like them, it's because they don't work, and which is a very big distinguishing difference for us. You can't tell how far you're adjusting it. It has no clicks in the adjustment, so you're just spinning the wheel. It has a plastic lens that scratches really easy. It loses zero and wanders around, and we can't get the zero back, and then simply it fails a lot of times. So if you got one, enjoy it. All right, but eventually I think you'll have to replace it if you shoot enough. All right, all day practice and a 2-day class will probably kill it. That's what I can pretty much guarantee you, because it just doesn't hold up to it the way it should. Okay, but thankfully our partners Holosun came out with a great optic for us, and it is a 507K. All right, so it's a small optic. It fits in the exact same footprint as the Romeo ZERO, and it is easily adjustable for brightness. You have the option of reticle, dot, or reticle and dot. I'm a dot only guy. That's how I like to roll. It makes most sense to me. You know, you do what you like to do, but that's what makes sense to me. And then you also can make easy adjustments and connections. So what I did is I got a torque wrench out. Manufacturer specifies 15 inch-pounds on it. So I put 15 inch-pounds with the torque wrench. There's blue Loctite on it, so it'll be secure to the gun. It's a really important process. This one has a little cutout in the back, so I can still use the front sight if I needed to. So I have iron sights and a red dot on a very small carry pistol. But I gotta be honest with you guys. I have big hands, and that means it's hard to shoot little pistols. And today, as you can see, it's kind of cold out here in Georgia. All right, so this is, I'm going to struggle with this pistol a little bit because it just doesn't fit me. You know, your gun should fit you. I could go up into the end of my finger on the trigger, and I get all over it. And it's important to be able to shoot well, but for me, this is a hard gun to shoot. That's why I carry a bigger gun, because I have big hands, and some of you guys have smaller hands, so this gun's going to fit you completely well, and that's fantastic. And I think Wilson also offers a grip module for it. That's a good idea too, so maybe that's her next present after Christmas. Maybe she gets that for her birthday. Great carry gun for her, and it's a great carry gun for a lot of you because you would carry it. It's going to fit you. Holsters are available. Aftermarket parts, everything you need is available to make that gun viable for self-defense. So how do I zero a gun? Well, we got some 2-inch dots over here. All right, this reticle sits pretty low in the slide, so I'm going to aim at the top of the circle, and I should impact on the one somewhere if I do my part. All right, and that's a big if with this gun. It's not like me shooting my full-size VP9. I have more problems with this, so I'm going to have to be really present and do the best job I can. And when I make a mistake, I'm going to have to own the responsibility so it doesn't get put on the gun. Okay, I shot a couple before I started the video just for time's sake, and it was really low. So I've already added 16 adjustments up into the optic. All right, nice and easy to do. Remember, you never want to co-witness your sights with your optic. They're two different sighting systems. Let them be and exist by themselves. We don't want one sitting on top of the other, because what you will do is use your rear sight, your front sight, your red dot, and your target to create a mismatch of things you can't concentrate on. So if you're using the red dot, zero that. Zero your sights too, your iron sights, and make sure they work separate and individually. You can turn your dot off or turn it down where you can't see it. Okay, so 3 shots in a 2-inch circle, and then I should see a little less, somewhere in the area of an inch offset in 3 shots. So let's see what that looks like. Oh, by the way, the ammo I'm using is Federal's 124 because it really mirrors our carry ammo. We're using Federal HST 124s, which I get a lot of good accuracy out of. I really enjoy that round. No particular difference for me with a 147, but I carry a comped VP9 with a progressive spring on it, so the 147 doesn't run loads. It doesn't run as often as I'd like it to. It ejects very poorly, and it doesn't ever stop the VP9, but I like the 124 cyclic rate much better for me. So I'm going to zero this with 124s, which mirror my carry ammo, and I should be able to see it. Let's see how this works out, all right? Okay, still in the frame, you guys can see me. I'm going to do 3 shots on the number 1. And as I didn't do a real good job on the first shot, I let it fade over to the side and I felt it happen. It's so narrow through the middle, I have a real hard time getting pressure on from my support hand on it, so I've got to really pay attention to that. But the other 2 rounds, they're on top of each other, but they are slightly left, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and add a little adjustment and see if I can get that out of there. If I add a couple to it and I see it come right back, then I know it's not the gun, it's not the sight, it's me. All right. Sorry. So I pulled it 3 clicks to the right. So we'll see if that makes a difference, okay? I'm going to fire a couple more rounds, see if I see the same bias in it, and then I'm going to go to the 10-yard line and confirm it, and then if we have time, I'll go back to the 25, okay? So let's see what this looks like. Shooting on the number 2 this time, number 2. Okay, moved left, that was me. Still left, that was me. All right, dead center, that was a good shot. So what I'm saying to myself is prep, prep, prep. I just try to stay on the trigger. I'm not really connected to it in the way I should. When I prep it, I don't quite prep it enough, and then I move the sights a little bit. But now I've got a nice little group at the top of the 2. It has precision and accuracy, so we're going to go back to 10 yards and check it. Go for a walk. Stay with me. Good. I'll turn you guys this way. You probably can't see the target from here anyway, but you can see me shooting it. So I'm just going to shoot 3 rounds on the B8 on the top left corner, and what I'm looking for is hold dead center on the X, get rid of my calls on it. My bad habits are probably more than the problem, the adjustment of the optic now. That one went way high. That one's slightly high and jumped. That was a pretty good shot. I still got some indication of left, so I'm going to do one more, make sure it's me, not the gun. Okay, pretty sure it's me. All right, let's go look real quick. Come on, let's go for a walk. Back and forth, like playing golf. It's much funner. All right. So I'm calling high. So I'm going to leave that be for Shelly and see how it works out. She'll get out here, she'll shoot it, let her zero it. We got a rough zero there. I see it lifting. You know, it has that angled trigger, so it's much more different than the trigger than I'm used to. So I tend to get all over it. I really had to talk to myself, but that's pretty good precision. I feel like the left is me. I don't feel like it's the gun anymore, and it may be a couple clicks too high right now. So I adjusted a little bit on that. I'm coming in the right point. So they're inside of the 10 ring at 10 yards, which is good work with a little gun, okay? If I go back to 25 yards, what I'm really gonna look for is windage mistakes instead of elevation. That makes sense to y'all. That way, right and left, I'll track it, because most of us can't shoot a good enough group at 25 yards to make a difference. So here I used a 2-inch circle, a couple rounds. That one was me on the first shot, called it, felt it, and then I got to work, stayed focused, stayed present, able to shoot 3 rounds in a pretty small group there with a small gun. So now I got a pretty good feeling the gun is pretty close to zeroed, okay? Next thing is the shooter's got to come out and she's got to try it herself. So I hope she enjoys it, and we'll get good service out of this. So remember guys, sometimes it is the equipment. You got to change it. If it doesn't work and it's not reliable, then you can't carry it, because these are self-defense guns. These are not competition guns. These are not go to training class guns. These are self-defense guns. So this optic needs to be reliable, near 100% as human beings can make it. And that Romeo Zero simply isn't. So make sure you get a chance, if you can, get this switched out, get it set up, get it zeroed. Took 10 rounds, shouldn't take all day. It's an easy thing to do. And then Shelly's gonna come out here, she's gonna refine this zero over and over until she gets it exactly where she wants it, but she knows she's got a pretty good start here. Okay, I'm Brian Hill with The Complete Combatant. Check out our website, thecompletecombatant.com. On the road everywhere, apparently. All right, Shelly's really got me going out there working right now. That's fantastic. I'm excited to train with y'all. So I'll be in a state near you, I'm sure. I head to California next week. Then I'm off to Indiana, and then all through Texas. So it's just a great streak of getting to do what I love. And we can help you guys get good results with whatever equipment you bring to class, and make good decisions, not based on preference, but on actual training and metrics and seeing how it performs under pressure. So I'll end with my byline then. As always, measure, refine, and perform.